one of the biggest fears of beginners, including me, is that they think that they are not enough. They don't know what they are doing. They think they don't know what they are doing. They think that the clients who won't like what they do, and so on. So they are worried that not even at that getting that first client, but how that first client will react, or how they will react to the client's reaction. Now, I'd like to say that no such thing as perfect exists, and you just need to aim at good enough. And how you do that, you share your information in transparency. You let your clients know, what you offer, and then those clients can say, yes, I will give it a try, or yes, I will give a try to your services, or say, I want someone with more experience. And by being transparent, you have the upper hand, you have the leverage, because you just started out. You're not booked it for 3-4 months. So anyone who wants a haircut or a bath or nails trimmed, they will jump at the opportunity that you have an opening. And most of the people operate in a way, I'm talking about 80+%, if not more, operate in a way that when they hear someone is a groomer, someone is a doctor, someone is a teacher, they already have autonomy. Not autonomy, authority. Like, they believe that you already have the skills, and to some extent it's perfect, that you already know the skills coming with that profession. Now, you have several months, years experience in that field. You will always learn. There's not going to be a time when you're going to say, what I did at that time was perfect, and there's no thing that I would change looking back. You will always want to change. If you look back, you will always see tiny little tweaks you could have done better. If you take a look at the newsletter 2 years from today, then you're going to see like, oh my God, I found a typo in there. No one cares. It's really no big deal. And so whenever you're starting out, if you're transparent, I offer this service, these are my availabilities, these are my prices, clients can choose. It's not something, you don't have to feel bad or anything really, because you have the experience, you have the availability, you are highly likely charge similar or less for a one-on-one service than a bigger factory groomer or conventional grooming facility. So you offer different services. And the only thing you need to do is offer something in its own group. Like you offer one-on-one services, like you offer no grooming loops, doggy-led grooming. Tiny tweaks like this will create your own environment. They won't be able to compare you to anyone else. They can just say like, this is awesome. Best of. I want this one, this one, this one. All the aspects and the philosophy, what you offer, just click and click and click and build trust as they read through your website. So you just need to offer enough for them. And good news, there will be always clients who will feel satisfied with your work and who will not feel satisfied with your work, including me. I get clients who stay with me and I get clients who don't come back. And it's a constant thing. Now we are taught to think in a way like good or bad, doggy client doesn't come back, this is a disaster. No, it's not. At the beginning, I felt absolutely destroyed by the thought that someone doesn't want to come back. They could have multiple reasons. Oftentimes you won't even know the reason. They might moved. The doggy passed away. They found another mobile groomer. They are not able to leave the house anymore, so they need someone to come to their house. It's not necessarily you. It's they have other needs that they want met in a different way than the strategy to come to your facility. That's all. And the only thing you need to focus on is being good enough. being good enough and fill your calendar in a way that you feel satisfied. Now, to some, it means 3-day work week, 4-day work week, 5-day work week, or temporary 5-day work week because you're building a house and you need the cash flow. And then 3 months later, you're not going to work just 3 days a week because you're better financially and you needed the extra, but you don't need the extra anymore. You rather spend your time outdoors in your new backyard. So it's really boils down, your confidence and comfort boils down to only thing you need to offer is enough. And the second is know your boundaries. Know when you say no to a client. And I say no to clients when I don't feel comfortable. Like if they are asking for a mohawk, I say no, I don't like to do mohawks. If a client prospect wants to come to me and they don't have a doodle, I say no. I love doodles. I love every single other doggy. I just prefer to groom doodles. It's in my hands. I know the style. I know their behavior. I know how to deal with their size. I'm set up for doodles. This is the way for me. And I send belly rubs. I pet every single dog I meet outdoors. I don't care. When I'm at Home Depot, I'm sending ear rubs, belly rubs, butt rubs, whatever. Small dog, big dog, fluffy, bald. I don't care. They are cute. They are adorable, all of them. But you need to know your boundary. If you know the dog's behavior, for example, doggy behavior can tell you a lot about the doggy's comfort. So if a dog is not, say, doesn't want to come to you at the drop-off and you can't convince the doggy and they are just backing up and won't even approach you for treats or anything, you can totally say to the client that, hey, based on the doggy's behavior, and it's very nice to have these fall back on to phrases like, based on the doggy's behavior, that he's hiding behind you and I couldn't get her out of there, not even with treats or moving or squatting down with funny sounds or you coming closer. I don't feel comfortable grooming your dog today, but I would like to refer you out to a trainer and get her doggy's confidence up so she's going to be able to get a haircut without being overwhelmed with the situation. Because after the meet and greet, there's going to be loads of things that she would need to be comfortable with. And if she's not comfortable right now, as her behavior tells us, then we can groom her safely. So this would be my action plan to help her get comfy for a haircut. And that's all. And then you tell the client to go somewhere else, to a trainer. If you can groom the doggy and the doggy is totally fine except for nail care, you can totally refer them out to a veterinary office to get their nails done. It's not a must to get every single grooming step done at your facility. If the doggy is not cooperating or you feel something iffy in your gut and then you don't want to do it, go with your gut and you don't have to do it. It's not a must for us to provide every single grooming step to dogs. I just had a client 2 weeks ago. The doggy was in full power, pumped with energy, like insane. It cut my toe to bleeding. It ran around. It was out there. It was one of the wildest clients I had. And I was not able to groom the dog. It was even magic that I was able to trim the hair by the eyes. That's where I usually start. So the doggy will be able to see what I'm doing so their confidence builds up a little bit. And they calm down with that a little bit. Not this one. I managed to do a very choppy eye area trim. Tiny trim here, tiny trim there. And then I called the owners and told them to come back and take their doggy home and exercise this doggy because I'm not able to do things safely. And of course, two things. You provide clear observation. You don't say, this doggy is unmanageable. You don't say, this doggy is wild or insane or anything. You don't put labels there. You say clear observations like, Fluffy could not sit still on the table when I asked him. Or Fluffy would not stay still on the ground when I asked him. Because of energy level, because impacted loads of energy in them. So it's very, very important for you to put it in a way that It's not a label, and it's a clear observation. Like what the doggy does with the doable action that makes it not safe for you to groom him. And then it's very important to switch this right back to a solution or several options as a solution. Like the doggy in this situation would need training and exercise. These two. They wouldn't sit still. They might not even know how to sit still. This wild doggy, I'm not even sure whether he was trained to the request sit. So it's very hard in that situation to even touch a dog. It's like grooming a lion. Like you don't do it without anesthesia or giving an injection to the lion because they would rip you apart. And the lion itself or you would get injured. So no, we don't groom dogs who are not trained and worn down, have less energy. So they are manageable and they are cooperative. Better yet, cooperative. So you need to know your boundary and how to phrase it to clients to help them understand that grooming needs some prep work, that part of this prep work depends on them. Part of this prep work depends on you, like doing one-on-one grooming and keeping the environment low-key so the doggies won't get stimulated and encouraged to move around or wiggle or run around. And it will help you huge to get the confidence you need to be able to say yes or say no to a client. And it's super important to understand your boundaries and to get these little phrases in your head that you can refer to whenever situations pop up. Like if a doggy is not cooperative, like this wild puppy was, he was an adorable one, by the way. Super cute. Most adorable face, capable body, very nice doggy. But when it comes to grooming, we need more than that. And the clients oftentimes have no idea. So you need these little phrases to help express yourself in a situation when at the beginning you might not feel the most comfortable yourself. And after a couple of situations I've been through, it's easier for me to tell it to clients like, hey, I can groom your doggy. And I don't say this. I never say this. And especially I never start with this. I say the phrase clear observation and suggesting strategies. And the more strategies you offer, the better, because they see that you want to help. You're not labeling their dog. You want to help and do it safely. So it's very, very important to have these little phrases in your head, like clear observation, strategies. Okay, what do I see on the doggy? Hiding behind the owner. What do I see on the doggy? Barking at me like insane and not stopping and pulling the leash towards me. This is a critical sign that you are not touching that dog. You're sending them home. And things like that. So you're gonna be able to phrase it in a way that it's easier for them to understand and digest, and that will make them more willing to work on that dog and help you. I had several clients where the doggy was at the beginning totally unmanageable, and I told them like, hey, this is the situation. These are the things I would practice. And they worked on that dog and they became one of the best doggies ever. And they were so easy to work on. I have several examples for this. And there were situations where we had to split up the appointment. That's why when I see puppies that up to 4 or 5 months, I just do face, feet, and fannies. And the appointment should not take longer than 30 minutes. Because I'm not a magician. I'm a groomer. And puppies at that age usually are not... don't have infinite attention span. So they get bored. They want to avoid the situation. They want to escape. They want to explore something else. So it's very hard, very close to impossible to keep a doggy calm and not overwhelmed for a full body treatment, face, feet, funny for an hour of work at that age. So that's why I split it up. like right away. That's the protocol. That's the business rule. Like if the doggy is less than 4 or 5 months age, it's just gonna be a face feed funny. If you want a haircut as well, I will check the doggy at the face feed funny, how they are doing with the shears and the clippers, and if they are good with the sound and sensation of the clipper, or I need to do a shear haircut, then that's okay. But it needs to be a separate appointment, because we are not torturing dogs. We want a cooperative, willingly cooperative dog on the table. That's your goal. That's the owner's goal. That's the dog's goal. Everyone wins if you have a solid business rule regarding this one as well. And you need to stick to it. If they beg and say like, oh, we're going to leave the doggy here and there and they need to be trimmed short. No, for your sake, for the doggy's sake, for the owner's sake, don't do it. If they take the doggy somewhere else and they get it done, that's their call. But your call should be based on your comfort level, how you think the doggy would behave. So the dog's comfort level. And then you need to phrase it in a way that the client will have a more detailed understanding of why you have this rule, and so they would be more agreeable, or find someone else to get the job done. Again, you don't have to groom every single dog. You never will be able to groom every single dog. You need to know where the line is, and you need to help your clients to understand where the line is. And if they beg and try to persuade you to go over your rules, that's a very nice red flag. They can always ask. I love every single question they have. I love negotiations. I absolutely love it. But after I explain to them why I operate this way and they still try to push it, you're going to meet with clients like that. No exceptions, regardless of what business you're in. You're going to meet with clients like that. You really have to stand your ground and help them understand what's going on. And the number one rule of that is knowing your limits and sticking to them. And explaining it to clients in clear observation. What the doggy does, that makes you choose not to groom or postpone the grooming, and get a training and offer them solutions. These are critical. These are always critical. If you find mats and the game plan has to change, you tell the owner before you cut the coat. You show the owner images, you explain what's the situation, and then you tell them this is the only humane way to go about the mat on the dog. If they want to get a second opinion, they are more than welcome to get it, but suggest them to get it done fast, because these mats are painful for the dog. And if they want to come back to you, perfect. They will come back to you. I don't mind clients come back to me at all. I actually love them, because I've been in situations when I wanted to get more information, get in more people's opinion, and I still chose the first one that told me whatever they told me. Because looking around, I felt like, okay, they are better than the other ones. And I went back. And there is no shame in that. You just want to look around. It's clarity, transparency, fairness. It's all good. Even if the doggy gets a haircut somewhere else and they come back to you, that's perfect. They see the value in your business, in your philosophy, and they come back. Excellent. I welcome them with open arms. And when the clients want to do their doggies, groom their dogs, do DIY grooming at home, and they are willing to learn about it, perfect. They can learn about it. They can learn about it through my videos on YouTube. I don't mind. As long as the doggy doesn't get hurt, I totally don't mind. If it gets hurt, it's going to be on the owners, not on you. So I like to help clients in any ways they need or want. If they want to learn about grooming, perfect. And they want me to do only an evening up on their doggies and nothing else after they groom their doggy, perfect. And this still gives you revenue, gives you flexibility. You can schedule them. You can do whatever they request. And it's all good. Everybody wins. You don't have to stick to anything that you saw at factory groomers or industrial salons, really. You can do whatever you feel comfortable with. And transparency, clear observation. And then you're going to be good to go. Again, you don't have to be the best groomer ever. I'm not the best groomer ever. I do things that looking back, I feel like, oh my God. I see mistakes on my own dogs. When I groom the little Pitsur, little Maltipoo, she gets a haircut. Next day, I wake up. Oh my God, there is a spot that's sticking out. 2 days later, oh my God, there's another spot sticking out. We all do this. The hair changes. It curls in this way this morning, that way that morning. All cool. You just need to do enough. That's all. You don't have to be perfect. No one is perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one is perfect. We are not perfect. There is no such thing as perfect. So you just need to be enough. And your experience will come with practice. Give it a try. You don't have to think about, oh my God, I will have to have this 6-figure business running by tomorrow morning. And when I wake up, I have to get my schedule filled. And I'm going to be the best, and I'm not going to make any grammar mistakes. I'm not going to make any pronunciation mistakes with the clients. I'm not going to make any haircut mistakes. Nothing. No. You just need to give it a try. That's all. You give it a try and see. And I'm very confident that you're going to love it. Because if you set your expectations to a manageable level, then you're going to feel more confidence. If you set your expectations to a level that it's not possible to meet, like, I want to be perfect, then you're going to be disappointed. And I guarantee it, because you're going to be disappointed. And when situations comes, you can always take a breath and try to go down to feelings and needs level and express yourself in the giraffe way, the nonviolent communication way, or the compassionate communication way by Marshall Rosenberg, and it will help you huge. It will help you huge. And again, remember that clients don't want to argue with you. Clients, at least it's my experience, I had very, very few clients being or looking angry when we interacted. There was one client and I should have said no way sooner than the owner dropped the doggy off. Right away at the drop off, I should have told them no, but I was a beginner and I didn't. And I was like, oh, I will tame this big guy and it's gonna be okay. And they told me, like, he doesn't really like the bath. And that's another thing. What I really like to ask clients is, like, give me a clean observation. What does the doggy do in the bathtub? Like, runs away, launches at the water, tries to bite your hand. What's happening? Because there are different levels. And I didn't. And the doggy, I got the doggy up on the tub, and I had a tub and a ramp back then. And it was a huge, I don't know, 120, 30, 40 pounds, ginormous dog. Some sort of mix, I don't know. And the client left, of course. I did the brush out. The doggy was prepped for a bath. It's up in the tub, trying to start the water, and the doggy attacks. I barely could stop the water and shut it off because the doggy was launching at the water. My arm, whatever was closer to them, he was like after it. And I was home alone. It was a shitty situation because the doggy was heavier than I was. And it was up high, and I tried to call the owner, and then she comes back storming in, and she was barely able to get her dog off because I used to, in that situation, I hooked the doggy up with a little noose or whatever it's called, and to the tub so it wouldn't fly off, because I wouldn't have been able to hold the doggy at all if he tried. And she comes back in, throws her bag down and keys down, and just tries to grab the doggy from up the tub. And the doggy started to lunge at her as well. And then she got even more mad. And she finally got the dog down and went home. And looking back, it's the craziest situation because I could have been seriously injured or hurt. And it's weird that sometimes clients don't tell you what's up with their dog, and being very clear and getting info on the dog's previous behavior is very important in the client intake forms, so you can get a better understanding of what's going on. and ask questions if something is up, so you can better see how the doggy behaves and whether you want to work with that client or not. So yeah, it definitely helps if you see life through needs and express yourself via clear observations, so clients can connect with what you are saying easier and digest what you're saying and suggesting better, so you can have a collaborative relationship. Let it be if it stops at the first meet and greet and you send them back home, but they won't leave a bad review about you, but they also never come back. Or if they feel like, oh my God, I really want to resolve this because we're going to spend another 10, 15 years with this dog, and I want it to be okay with grooming at the groomer, at home. So once the clients get over the possible waves of shame or anger or surprise when you share the info with them, there is a very high chance that they get off of those thoughts and feelings, and then they will be like, okay, let's do this, let's work on this and get better. So again, that was the craziest situation I came across, and it was a long time ago. And with a solid new client intake form, you're going to be able to do much better and filter clients out in advance, and whoever needs more training, you can refer them out before an appointment, so you're going to still have your schedule full and you can get the clarity that you need about the dog in advance, so you can decide whether you want to work with them or not. So think about what you are willing to work with. If it's senior dogs you want to work with, go for it. If it's high-risk dogs you want to work with, go for it. If it's a different breed you want to specialize in, give it a try and see. And have your rules solid. Be open to negotiate, but know your rules. That's going to be your number one guide to keep you comfortable and safe, and your clients safe and comfortable, because it's important both ways to feel safe and be comfortable. So it's nice if it's a collaboration with the client and mutual understanding of the situation, whether you're grooming their dog or not. And it's a very fun way to be a groomer and have this clarity in your life. Anyways, if you have any questions or if you have any worries that you want to work through, I'm here, and I'm happy to give you the understanding, and if you want even suggestions on how to get over those, to help you get your business going and the confidence you need to have an awesome job and profession, and do things with your life the way you'd like.